Now then, this video is what it says in the title. They're just fragrances that are, you know, special in some way, shape or form to me. That have kind of, and probably always will be, ones that I'll certainly always own, etc. And it's just, fragrances take us to places, don't they? Memories, times, places we want to be, you know, all that sort of thing. And that's why most of us here, and most of us love them and can't get enough of them. We want that rush, we want that exhilaration, we want that great fond memory we have. We want them special associations, and it'll keep us loving them. And smell is such a powerful thing, isn't it, that it has that ability to transform us to places, well, not even just real places, places in our mind and all of that. So yeah, that's what this video is about. And I don't think I've filmed for about 2 or 3 weeks, so probably a bit rusty. Hopefully I don't waffle on too much. We'll crack on with it. So first up, we'll get one of the most obvious. That's Joop Homme, and we all know I'm kind of fond of this one, and it's a special one. It's not just kind of special to the world, is it? It's a fragrance of a generation. It's one that changed perfumery quite a bit, isn't it? It's more than that. For me, it was the first proper fragrance I owned. I believe it was bought for me. State of it down here. We'll go back. I believe it was bought for me by my brother when I was quite a young teenager. And what isn't there to love about Joop Homme? I mean, it's very kind of, in them days it was massive. It was a huge fragrance, so you'd need 2 or 3 sprays. Been a young youth, probably go 4 or 5 sprays, which is probably why I'm quite a light sprayer now. So it was absolutely massive. I'd wear it to school, you shouldn't do. By this time, in my early mid-teens, I was already going out drinking in pubs and such like. So yeah, I wore it then, and it has that memory of them days. Had the best time at school, but I had a nice group of friends and stuff. We did have a laugh and that. Very well behaved teenage drinkers. It was always in pubs, weren't white lightning on street corners. And then obviously I wore it through college, had lots of college parties and such like, and again, good times. And then university, I still kept wearing it. And as you can imagine, university is a very special moment to anyone who goes. It's that step into adulthood, isn't it? And being responsible but not really still. And yeah, some very fond memories of that. And that's why this one is a special one to me, and I still wear it now. It does still have that ability to take me back in time, even though it has been reformulated and it's a bit tamer. I see that as an advantage with this one, actually. What is Joop Homme, if you've never heard of it? It's this big, huge, sweet orange blossom. There's a bit of this kind of cherry feel in it. There's jasmine. There's lots of musks. It's very synthetic, but you know, it is what it is, and it suits it, and it's done very well. It's a legend of its time. So that's Joop Homme. Next is one that I don't own actually, but I've got a sample of it, and spray it every now and again. I think I will probably own this eventually. It's Miller Harris Dusk Till Dawn. Why is this one special to me? As a kind of one that I've not overly, you know, worn over the years and things. Thing is, it's the actual smell of it. Well, this is not going to be one of them noty videos. It smells like here, like the great outdoors, and it smells very vividly of blackcurrant bushes. I must have something in my mind maybe taking me back to my childhood or something. It's just one of them fragrances that makes me feel really good, and I really enjoy it. With Miller Harris, some of their main kind of thing is fragrances smell incredibly natural and realistic. So this kind of takes me to great summer days, you know, chilling outside, being with people that you love and that kind of part of your life forever. The blackcurrant, I think it might be obviously European things, don't get them over the pond, but they have this kind of nostalgic smell about them, this nostalgic feel, and the mixing with the green very much does take us to that kind of youthful walking about, you know, playing in the mud and in the trees without a care in the world. So yeah, that's Miller Harris from Dusseldorf. Next, of course, this was going to be in here, is Rolling in Love, and again this one doesn't have anything specific kind of attached to it. It has little bits of other fragrances about it, but it's its own fragrance and it's very unique. And this was kind of one of them loves at first sniff things. It might have been my second Kilian or third, one bought at full retail back in the day. It's a very subtle fragrance. It's all about the musks. It has got is it tuberose, jasmine, and a little tiny almond hint in it, but it is basically, it's the ambrette and all the other musks, and it creates this kind of soft, alluring, magical kind of skin smell. It can take you to kind of, it's like that moment after the big event, know what I mean? You know, it's not going to be one of them sorts of videos, but yeah, it has that kind of, and like your bed still smells of them and things like that, and it makes you think of soft kisses, and as well as all the big events and stuff. It's an exceptionally great fragrance. I mean, I don't need to talk much more about it. We all know by now what this fragrance means to me and how good it is and how much I love it. I'm sure one day Estee Lauder will reformulate it to death and it won't be what it was, and that will be a great loss to the fragrance world. But anyway, that's Kilian's Rolling in Love. So next is Tom Ford's Noir de Noir. Now this is a special one in many ways, but again this one is a kind of dark rose, kind of earthy truffle, little touch of oud, that chocolatey patchouli, is kind of almost red wininess about it. You know, it's the kind of goth fragrance, isn't it? Really, it's stunning. But the reason this one is special to me in a few ways is, first of all, this was the first fragrance I bought off Rose and Jones, who will be somewhere linked, Lizzie, who's like become over the years, it's weird saying that, isn't it, over the years, like my closest fragrant friend, if you like, and it just smells so good. I've worn it a few times for, you know, a few special things. One of them being is when I met up with a few people from this world, Nicola, Maddie and Claire, and that was a really great day, and yeah, I was very drunk. It was a great day and a great time to spend lots of time with them and get to know these people we don't get to see in real life that much. And it was an especially hot day that day, probably the hottest day for a while. It was very pleasant, so of course I was drunk. I mean, you're going to drink, can't you, when the weather's like that, in nice beer gardens and stuff. And that's kind of two of the reasons it's very special. And it's one again, I will always love and always have these great memories of, and this kind of special attachment to, as well as I'm sure I'm going to make many more great memories with this fragrance in time. It's just an exceptionally special one. That's Noir de Noir from Tom Ford. Next is Boss Soul from Hugo Boss or whatever it was then. Now this is special because it's the first fragrance I bought with my own pennies. I think I've told the story so many times of this. I was in Boots with my partner, God knows why. I was probably having to buy her something, as usual. And the lady sprayed it on me. I never liked being sprayed in Boots or any places like that, because yeah, you don't know what they're spraying you with, do you? But anyway, we walked around the shop, thought nothing of it, and then as we walked out of the shop I thought, God, that smells good. So I went back in and bought it. This one it's of its era. It's kind of cardamom, oranges, florals, kind of woody base, some spices, you know, say the cardamom being one of the main ones, and it's just kind of very bright and whatever. And I think at that age it kind of hit me, but maybe it linked to Joop as well. Was clearly very into floral, ambery fragrance, flamber fragrances, and it's one I just loved. I think it might be, take Joop out of it, I've probably gone through about 4 or 5 bottles in my lifetime. I still have a little 30ml or 40ml maybe it was, I don't know. That'll probably never go through, but it's there for them memories. It was discontinued a long time ago. Well, again, obviously this takes me back to them days, you know, last year at uni, I would think, and all the good times that go with that, all the hard work and still good nights out and friends for life and stuff. So that's Hugo Boss Soul. Next is from One Way Bridge, and it's Polly. Now this is special in, again, a lot of ways, being from the Peak District, and you know, probably the wildest, most kind of rugged countryside in the country, and the nation's oldest national park. I love the smell of green, especially this kind of wild, untamed green. Here obviously it's quite urbanised, even in the countryside, and industrialised, whereas Peak Districts, there's some very old ancient mines and things like that, but it's just overgrown wildness, and the countryside's cut and smashed. It was like an old prehistoric lake or sea there, so that's why it's all limestone and that. Anyway, the point is, this one, how would you describe it? It's got loads of New Zealand kind of notes in it, but it's the greenness and that fresh, wild, untamed, great outdoors takes me there. But this is also really special to me because it's my first One Way Bridge fragrance, and that is a brand that I fell in love with really straight away, and it's just one that's grown and grown and grown on me to the point where anything that's released I'm going crazy and blind buying them, and I just love them. And I get on well with the brand owner Elise, and the perfumer, who I'd call a friend now. And again, it's not a friendship based around, obviously it's come from the perfumes, but it's just talking, there's no selling. Well, of course I suppose I do promote them because I talk about them a lot, but that's not because of any other reason other than I love them. And obviously I think a lot of Elise now, so it's that kind of thing. And with this brand being so special to me, and specifically with Polly, them childhood, again, young childhood memories of endless green and peace and ruggedness, that always stays in us, doesn't it? Wherever we're from is always home, and I do miss it a lot. So yeah, that's Polly from One Way Bridge. Next up is Black Perfecto Le Petit Robe Noir from Guerlain. This one has some sort of power over me, some sort of magical effect. The fragrance itself, I love it, but I wouldn't, say it's a huge, special, unique, out there fragrance. It just does something to me. This one is it's that cherry. It's I always say there's violet in it. I don't know, but there's licorice in it. There's some beautiful, stunning kind of musks that seem quite subtle, but on others it can be a lot more. There's obviously the leather in it, and it's just this beautiful, dark, sweet, pleasant, goth light. Is that a fair enough thing to say about it? I don't know. But it makes you think of, I don't know, uncontrollably. You'd want to sniff somebody's neck. You'd want to get your nose right in there. I mean, frankly, you'd probably want to, chuck them on the table and yeah. It's got that something about it that has that really massive, strong effect on me. This was also a Christmas present, I think, from Claire, Dr. Claire. So again, that adds to it being really quite a special one. And I love it. Like I say, it's nothing overly complicated, it's nothing crazy. And the memories are more these kind of, I don't know, it's more the place it takes me, isn't it? It's more them thoughts in my mind. It's more that it just has a grip on me, an unexplainable grip, and my mind kind of drifts to them places when I wear it or when I smell it. So that's Guerlain's Le Petit Robe Noir Black Perfecto. Next is another Kilian, Kilian's Love and Tears. Now this is special for being the first kind of gift from the fragrance community, if you like, the first kind of really special thing that blew me away. Now I bought this and just madly in love with it. It's this kind of beautiful lily of the valley, jasmine, so natural and so green, and it's got that magic of jasmine, that kind of effect it has in you, of making you kind of almost euphoric. But what it was a gift off Carl. I don't think Carl's still about anymore, sadly. He's a Geordie fella, really kind and really lovely. And when I first started, someone who kind of I interacted with a lot, just a lovely guy. And it's special because of that. It's also special because of Carl. Like I say, he got on with Carl really well, and he's somebody who really helped me. But the fact that, from our community it can be that nice, and it being a fragrance I just absolutely utterly adore. I've always been a jasmine fan, as we can tell, and it certainly takes you to them calm, magical times, and mixed with that how it's special, I think just makes it more special. I don't need to waffle on, I mean, you kind of get the gist. So that is Love and Tears from Kilian. So yeah, Bouquet Encore from L'Orchestre Parfums is last. You can tell I forgot it, can't you? What is Bouquet Encore? Well, it's a big blast of massive black pepper cloud, which does kind of linger on throughout it, but it's mainly in the opening, and then it kind of gets more woody, and then there's a kind of orange blossomy floral. It's not listed, but it has that, that kind of rich, kind of almost like a syrupy drink, isn't it? And that colour and that kind of smooth, full-bodied texture about it. And tuberose, lots and lots of tuberose, which gives it this kind of rounded, elegant, very nice sweetness. So it starts off with this, I don't know, like a black thundery stormy sky from the pepper and the spices, and then it kind of, you know, that dissipates, and then it's sunset and you get that orangey reddy colour. It's really warming, it's really enveloping. It's one of them that's for any time you fancy, really. And what makes it special? Well, it was gifted to me for my birthday by people in Fragcom, which obviously makes it especially special, and because it was one I loved, and that also it's one that so many of the people I know in this world kind of own. Lizzie, Claire, there's probably more, and it's just a kind of, it shows that it's kind of a very universal love. That's not to say everyone will love it and everyone will think it's great, but we have such different tastes, such massively opposing tastes, that for us all to like it's really quite rare, and makes it very special. So I don't need to waffle on about it. That's why it's special, and it's a very good one. And if you're looking for a kind of, you're not a tuberose lover, but you like spicy scents or more of a kind of woody based scent, it could work too. The tuberose isn't by no means your traditional kind of tuberose. It's very full and very kind of warm almost. So yeah, anyway, that's L'Orchestre Parfums Bouquet Encore. So finally in this top 10 is, could it be the best I've ever smelt? It's one I've never owned, but I have smelt it enough. I do have little samples, and I have little samples of the original, which makes it special. I mean the original, and that's Mugler's Alien. What it is now, we're not even going to get into that, because this is a video about special fragrances, not special fragrances cheap ass brands of utterly destroyed. So the original Mugler Alien, what is it? It's dark jasmine and the musks. That's what it is. And it was something that was so ridiculously unique, yet so hypnotic, mesmerizing, so crazy good. Again, I was talking about them kind of sniffing at someone's neck kind of thing. This makes you want to nibble on that neck, and you know, it ends with not a you know indecency, and very excitable times with your partner who might be wearing it. But it's the first one as well. I mean, I wasn't particularly overconfident, person in my early mid-20s, but when I first smelt this, it's like a little Tesco's Express or whatever it was called in them days in Leeds, and I'd just come out and the girl was walking past there. It's got this big kind of cloud of it, and I kind of kept walking, you know, slowly, like milling along like you do. Gotta get back to work, man. But anyway, I just thought, oh, this is just so good. So I did kind of was like, hey, excuse me, love, excuse me, like some weirdo, because she's probably about my age. Very attractive lass, but to be fair, I wasn't really bothered about that. And I was just like, what is it that you're wearing? What is that smell? And she's like, oh, it's a new one from the Mugler. I'm from Leeds, me. Ah, kid. No, that's Manchester. Anyway, she was like, hey, up, it's Mugler's Alien. And I was just like, oh, wow. And then I tried to get my partner at the time to wear it. No, she didn't like it. She was an angel girl. Whatever. And then several partners after that, not really a fan of, they were all angel. You know, this is where I've been going wrong in my life, isn't it? All these angel girls. And it's just one that's stood with me. Now I know it's loved and hated. You kind of don't really sit in the middle with this one, and that is what made Mugler so special. That there were fragrances like this that half of everyone loved and half of everyone hated, and it became an iconic fragrance that will live forever, although not during this generation's, because all they'll smell is the atrocious whatever it is version that so-called cosmetics brand L'Oreal are pumping out now, and they'll just have no idea how good that fragrance was. So yeah, that's Mugler's Ale. So yeah, it was just a little, I don't know, pointless video of special fragrances. And like I say, we all have these associations, we all have these unexplained feelings they can invoke in us. We all have things that take us to them special times and special memories, and it just is what it is. And I think the thing is with a lot of these, some of them are really quite old, as you can see. They will always stay special and they will always have that power over me, which I think as frag heads and what have you, this is why we get so upset about reformulations, more so than any sane person would. Because if it's a fragrance that's got all that about it, and they've got rid of that essence of it, they've taken it away, they've made it into something else, and when you sniff it, you're not transported to these places and these times, it really, really upsets us. It's like someone has tried to delete a memory from our heads and go, no, this is not reformulated. We just put it in a different bottle, or don't be silly. We don't reformulate things. We certainly haven't made it cheaper. Oh no. So yeah, that's why we get so kind of livid and angry about it, and that's why I have more than a little bit of disdain for Estee Lauder and L'Oreal and places like that. Look, the best thing to do with these fragrances, I think, even for us who consider them so special, is don't besmirch it, just discontinue it. If you're, you know, you're putting the prices up 10 million%, you'll blame IFRA. It's never IFRA. You just can't be bothered, or it's going to cost you a bit more of your margin to make this fragrance proper. Don't pretend like you're fragrance brands and things like that. You're a corporate business who's got no interest in it whatsoever. Because if you did have even the modicum of interest in fragrance or the art and the beauty of it, you wouldn't be doing this to our favourite fragrances. There you go. A weird way to end it. What about you? Do you have any special fragrances? Any loves? Any that transport you to places? Where are these places? Alright folks, thanks. Bye.